Welcome to the Barker Podcast Collection.
Welcome to the Not Watching Podcast. My name's Rob Howard, and this week I'm joined by
Ian Bruce,
John Marson,
and Marcus Hurley.
You can contact us on email at notwatchingpodcast@gmail.com or follow us on Twitter at notwatchingpod. So we got some movie news. Starting off, we have to mention the sad passing of Wes Craven, responsible for many sleepless nights as a child for me, as the creator of Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah. Because your parents showed you that when you were like 12 or something, right?
Yeah,
no, I
mine
was
did.
8.
Sorry, yeah, 8.
Wow.
Yeah, but my parents rock. So, yeah, a lot of people have credited him with reinventing the horror genre more than once. He did it a few years after Nightmare on Elm Street, again with Scream, which was a very cool deconstruction of the genre. Not too sure about the sequels, but the first one was great.
I enjoyed the sequels, to be honest. I'll admit to that.
They made a show of that as well, didn't they, recently? I didn't see it. I didn't hear very good things about it.
I haven't watched it yet. I plan to at some point, though.
Yeah, I'm sure there may be a time for that.
Hills Have Eyes as well. That's my favourite Craven film.
I've never seen... I don't think I've seen
That's
that.
not a very pleasant movie.
It's not at all. It's really horrid.
It's not a first date movie, that's for sure.
It's oh, she's gone out for the night, I'll watch that. Sort of movie.
Yeah, he was 76, passed away after a battle with brain cancer. A lot of people said that he wasn't, particularly interested in being a horror director. He just kind of had difficulty getting outside of that niche.
So he's a bit like Akira Kurosawa.
Was that
very famous for making sort of Japanese samurai films, but he wasn't a massive fan of the genre. It's just he found that he was really successful at it, so he thought, well, which is why a lot of them turned into kind of dramas and, little social commentaries and stuff like that of the time. But yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, but no, made some great movies, and he will be missed. There was some Star Wars news. Some of this is quite old, but there was Disney had their event that they call D23. I always think like they're going to increment the number, but of course D23 is called D23 for some reason, and it's always D23. It's something to do with the year that something was when it was the year that Walt left Kansas City, headed for Hollywood, and founded what would become Disneyland, I believe.
Yeah, it's probably when Disney was founded.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that would make sense. There was the news that Colin Trevorrow will be directing Episode 9. He who did Jurassic World. So
Full of money.
I guess when you make 1.5 billion for Universal, you can do whatever the fuck you damn well like. So,
which means there'll probably be a flashback sequence with Chris Pratt as a young Harrison Ford.
Well, here's hoping, eh?
Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying he's a terrible director. I didn't like Jurassic World, and he hasn't got much else on his CV, to be honest.
No.
But I don't know how much power these directors are going to have with Star Wars at the end of the day. Abrams is laying out the vision for it, and all these guys have to do is what they're told, really, don't they?
Yep.
I don't know.
I hope so.
Yeah, pretty much, I think, yeah.
Turn up
I hope
and
so.
make sure they're in on the merchandising rights.
Yeah. They also revealed the casting for Rogue One, which is looking good. We've got Ben Mendelsohn, Donnie Yen. My friend Stan was very excited about that.
Yeah, he hasn't done. I haven't seen him in a while in anything.
No, he's a bit of a martial arts dude, isn't he?
Yeah.
What's he been in?
He turns up in a lot of random bits, like I think he was in one of the Blade films. He's oh god, I can't. That's the thing. I can't
I'm just
remember the last
looking
time I
now.
actually saw him on screen. But
Yeah, he's in
he
Blade
was
2.
he was in a lot of films as if it wasn't Jet Li, it was him
Hero.
in a lesser role.
Yeah.
Hero's good.
He often plays villains as well, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Lots of sort of Asian and Hong Kong cinema and stuff. But yeah, I'm sure he'll get. He probably might have a lightsaber involved in this. I don't know.
Do you think he's going to be a new Darth Maul?
Maybe. Who knows?
Oh, he's it, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was
Right,
it, yeah.
okay, yeah.
I've not seen that. We've also got Felicity Jones, Diego Luna, Forrest Whitaker, Mads Mikkelsen, Hannibal,
Yeah.
and Alan Tudyk from Firefly
And Serenity.
and Serenity.
and everything else.
Indeed.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, Gareth Edwards is directing that, and it's due to be out, I believe, next year sometime.
Cool.
So, yeah, it's going to be crazy. I can't believe, it's next, not this Christmas, next Christmas. So, yeah, that will be our annual Star Wars treat.
By the way, Rob,
Um,
just while we're on the subject, if you haven't seen Ip Man, just fucking watch it. It got like 24 awards or something. It's a martial arts film about a guy that taught Bruce Lee.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll have to check that out then. I will add it to the list. Other Star Wars news. We're going to have Star Wars parks in Disney World and Disneyland. You're going to be able to fly in the Millennium Falcon, and it will be all the latest technology. But they're both going to be quite significant add-ons to the Disneyland and Disney World parks. So that's when I'll be next going to America.
They should just build a
in
full-size
cosplay.
Millennium Falcon. That'd be it.
Just build my own.
No, they should just build one. Just build a Millennium Falcon.
Well, they did
Just-
for the movie.
I know, but just a complete one, not like a breakable one. Just
One that
and have it
works.
just permanently parked. Works is a bit strong.
And takes off
Yeah.
and flies around.
Yeah, be alright. Do that.
Flies from one park to the
Or
other.
at
Yeah.
least
A bit
like
of
works as
string.
a hovercraft or something,
Oh, that'd be amazing. That would be awesome.
As long as they have a thing where you can get in the cockpit and it's all like hydraulics and stuff and it makes you feel like you're on it, that'll be amazing.
Or just so you can shout from one gun in position to the other. Don't get cocky.
Yeah. Force Awakens will have one full IMAX scene, so if you want to see that in all its glory, you'll need to check out the 70mm print, which will be at, I think, all the IMAX screens.
for a year.
I don't know if they'll be at all the IMAX screens, but they'll probably be at. I think it's definitely at the one in Waterloo.
Yeah.
So apparently the tickets go on sale in October. So I have a Google alert set.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. Ready Player One will definitely be directed by Spielberg and will come out the Christmas after Rogue One, 15th of December 2017.
Excellent.
Yeah, I was a bit cynical about this because at the time this was first announced, he had an awful lot on his plate. But it looks like he's going to do it, which is good because apparently the movie has lots of references to his own work.
Yes, that's quite better already. Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be like life imitating art, imitating life. So, but yeah, it's all about a chap called Wade Watts, who's a gamer living in 2044, but he's obsessed with the 80s. And he goes on a virtual treasure hunt seeking fame and fortune. And there's a lot of VR stuff going on.
It's the central premise is it's you live your life in VR basically. Oh, and I can't wait for that day.
Oh, what's that film where you live your life in VR?
No, not
Lawnmower Man.
not that one.
Not Lawnmower Man. God.
Tron.
Huh?
Tron.
No, the good one.
Lawntron Man.
The Matrix.
No,
Lawntron Man.
Lawntron Man.
No, I don't know. I'm out of ideas now.
Who was in it, John?
Johnny Mnemonic.
No, not Johnny Mnemonic either.
God, I really can't think of any more.
Basically, there's a weird bit in it. There's a few weird bits in it, but what's it called?
Existence.
No,
Scanner Darkly.
no,
Was that VR?
that's quite
No,
cool.
it wasn't VR. That was weird. That was weird.
If you go on IMDb, it will say other films that are similar.
You jack in, and you can you can experience anything that anybody else has recorded.
Video drone.
No,
Was it directed by Catherine Bigelow?
no.
Oh. No, I don't know.
Don't worry then.
We'll come back. We'll come back to that.
I'll think of it.
Okay.
Sorry, is that the one with the big poster out a window? Is it that one?
Big poster in the window.
Out of a window. There's a murder takes place and there's a poster out the window that is somebody's face and the guy keeps seeing that face. Is it that one?
Oh, that sounds sort of familiar, yeah.
Fuck. I can't remember the name of it either.
Oh, no.
Worst podcast ever.
We don't have a clue podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, well, if anyone wants to, search for that and
Just
chime in...
email us in,
then-
we'll wait.
We'll still be here until you do.
Yeah, come on. I need a shit.
Okay, moving along. We've got... I find this really dismaying, actually. Not the fact that it's happening, but the fact that they had to tell us is that Bill Murray is going to be showing up in the new Ghostbusters movie.
Oh, dear.
You know
already
why?
announced-
You know why they
Go
have
on.
to tell us? It's because no one's going to go and see it.
Because nobody gives a fuck. They've already said Dan Aykroyd tweeted from the set, I think, a few weeks back saying, I've just done my scene. We're in that age now, you can't really hold this stuff back, really. It's a bit
dear.
impossible unless...
By the way,
don't know.
Bill Murray turned 65 today. So,
happy birthday,
Bill.
Bill.
May you enjoy your wine and alternate glasses of water, as you insist on doing.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And we do forgive you for Garfield.
It's too soon.
Pacific Rim 2 is apparently on hold.
Oh, no.
It's brilliant, first one.
You're fucking... Yeah, all right, yeah.
Does that
Apparently
mean that
they
he's
said
doing
it's fine.
Hellboy 3?
No, it's nothing to do with that. I think apparently there was a report on the Hollywood Reporter, because that's where the reports are. And there's just this problem with monster movies, and they're just they're costing too much money, and so they're all just kind of taking a step back from it all, because there was all these studios wanting to set up new ones, and they've just decided, because I think that Pacific Rim didn't make an awful lot of money in the West, but it made a lot in China, and they seem to be, a lot of films are like making a lot of money in China, and it's like I think they just reassessed it, but they've just said it's on hold, and it's going to get pushed back if it gets made at all. So don't hold your breath for Pacific Rim 2, unfortunately. Have you found out what that film is yet, John?
Yes.
Yeah,
it was
man.
Catherine Bigelow, Strange Days.
yeah,
Ah.
Strange Days.
Ah,
Yeah, a bit like that, but it's it's more. It's not something you can describe. A bit like bloody VR, really.
Yeah.
I think this has come up before, and I definitely need to see this. I think I might have it somewhere.
It's about
actually.
people that deal in, that you can record your memories if you jack yourself in. And then, if you want to know what it's like to be a woman masturbating in the shower, you can have that implanted into your head and experience
So-
it or whatever.
How big a hard drive do you need for that program?
I'll send you a link, mate. Yeah, and apparently, because you can record memories, you can record literally anything that anyone sees. Like, they can record it, so, blackmail, murder,
Wow.
Moida.
all that
Wow.
stuff.
Oh, I'm going to have to check that out. That's a
Do you want to hear
embarrassing
something
gap in my
funny?
knowledge. Go on.
I mentioned Johnny Mnemonic, but it's actually on the IMDb's. People who liked this also liked.
Strange Days.
Yeah,
Okay.
and vice versa.
Excellent.
It's
okay.
it's of an oeuvre, isn't it? I suppose.
An
It's
oeuvre.
like something like that.
There was another film, Dark City, which I think I've only seen once, and I can't remember.
Brilliant film.
Yeah, that's very good.
I can't remember. I might have to watch that.
That's cool. That's with like Richard O'Brien and loads of bald dudes, isn't it?
It is, yes.
As his gang was called.
Yeah. Richard O'Brien and the bald dudes.
We are the dudes of bald.
Okay, yeah. So let's get to some fun stuff. And did any of us watch Fantastic Four in the end?
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
I did.
why did you do
You
it,
did?
Marcus?
I did.
Why?
I did.
Research.
How was it?
Yeah,
Why,
research.
Why?
I will
So was it as bad as-
gladly say I paid the princely sum of £0 and 0 pence to watch it.
Because somebody
Well, I'm
else
not
paid
going to
for
ask
you.
how you saw it
Yeah.
then, but
No.
I believe it's not a film worth paying for. But anyway,
Yeah. It's how can I describe it? I can't. Let's move on. It's
I
that
heard
bad. No, it is genuinely that. I mean, first of all, it's kind of like they tried to make a Dawson's Creek version of it.
right?
Somehow, Johnny Storm being black is the problem, apparently, one of the problems. But apparently Johnny Storm's father runs the whole industry thing, and it's actually Sue Richards, who's the adopted daughter.
Okay.
So
Jesus.
they're adopted brother and sister. First of all, that makes no sense. Secondly, the whole thing makes no sense. Thirdly, the whole thing was poor. And fourthly, it was rubbish. And to summarise, it's crap.
Do you think like you know how sometimes
So you didn't like it then?
I wish, I really, honestly, if this is my most genuine opinion in all the podcasts I've ever had, I wish I'd watched the first and second original films back to back.
Oh, okay.
Jesus, it must be terrible then.
It makes them look absolutely fantastic, no pun intended. It makes them look like the casting's spot on. The little liberties they take with the Marvel Universe are completely forgivable. And
I bet that wound you up, didn't it?
there's
Liberties with the Marvel Universe.
No, I don't even care.
Come on, Marcus, let it out.
My
It's alright, no one's going to judge you, mate. Let's hear it.
My loyalty to the Fantastic Four begins and ends with a Saturday morning cartoon as a kid. However, that kicks this thing's ass. It is absolutely shocking. If I ever meet that guy in the street, I'm not going to hit him or anything. I'm just going to point and do like a body snatches. For shame! For shame!
Well, let's just say though that I mean, I don't know if we have him to hold accountable because
All of them. They should be rounded up and beanbagged. Not even stoned because they'll die. You know, they don't deserve that.
no, I mean I'm talking about the director who sounds like he's not had a good time with this.
I don't know.
experience.
He went mental. Spent half the time in a tent, not speaking to the actors. One of the actress who played Sue Richards has not watched the film and doesn't want to. The actor who
He's a method
played,
director.
I think Johnny Storm, basically said the film sucks and almost quit. There've almost been fights on set.
Yeah, he tweeted out, didn't he, the day before it came out. He said something like, there was a good movie here, but
You'll never see it or something like that.
yeah, a year ago I had a fantastic version of this and it would have received great reviews. You'll probably never see it. That's reality though.
What the director said.
I really have to disagree
Yeah.
with that because the concept of it, the genesis of it, you can't get it wrong. They got it right the first time. You know, a bunch of people, they go out and a completely implausible way in which they get these powers. It is the most insane, you know. They get hit by cosmic rays and then one goes stretchy, one turns to a pebble, one gets set on fire and one goes invisible.
Well, it's not like they were, bitten by radioactive spiders
It's crazy. Oh, yeah, I know. The whole thing, that's what I'm saying.
mental.
Don't get caught up on the semantics of trying to make it realistic. That's the problem.
Yeah.
See,
There was
even Nolan succumbed to that. I mean, you look at The Dark Knight Rises. He had to realise this is a comic book. Hence, which is why Bruce Wayne, got his back broken, was in a hole. But then a bloke comes along and does a Mr. Miyagi on him and he can climb out.
yeah.
You have to realise sooner or later you're trying to do the impossible by making any comic book movie realistic.
I think comparing this disaster
No.
to The Dark Knight
You can't.
Rises is a bit is night and day though. Really, there was a whole scene with the Thing that a bit of which was in the trailer apparently, and that didn't even make the movie.
Yeah, apparently they wanted to make him a bit more of a solemn sort of, almost, I don't know, I don't want to use the phrase emo thing, but that's what he would have been.
Yeah.
he would have been more like, oh, he's been used as a military weapon and stuff like that. You do see bits of that. Bits of it are actually, you know, you can watch it from start to finish, but unfortunately the end result, you kind of think, well, that wasn't much better than a TV movie. For the amount that they spent on it and everything, and, you know, you see the effects and you just think they didn't need to do that. They didn't need to try. They didn't need to do any of that.
Apparently the scene in question, they tried to film it in a documentary handheld style, but it didn't match the planned digital effects for the rest of the movie, so it was unusable.
Yeah. It was like a second unit. They filmed him storming a, I don't know if it was meant to be in like Afghanistan or something. He he was going to storm like a base camp and then take out everyone, and all the Marines arrive and they look at him and he kind of just goes, "Rrr." And then they kind of go, "Who's on our side?" But anyway,
he's not fucking a goat, so he's
you don't
definitely
need to
on our
watch
side.
this shit. Just watch Captain America: Winter Soldier. That's a bearing in mind that's got flying airships and all this crazy shit.
Yeah.
That's a more realistic film.
That is a good movie. I enjoyed that movie.
That is a fantastic movie.
They after the whole sort of debacle of this, they were saying, a lot of people were saying that you know, all Fox can do now is give it back to Marvel, but apparently they're digging their heels in and are going to attempt a sequel to this.
Yeah.
Wow. Doubling down.
Even so,
If you thought the Amazing Spider-Man movies were a bit, to be honest, I think the problem with those films, they were unfortunate. They came too early. You know, they didn't need to be a reboot quite so soon. They had a bit more time with those. Andrew Garfield was a brilliant Peter Parker.
Yeah.
yeah,
The stories needed to be fleshed out a little, but I think they set up the world quite nicely, which would have led into the whole Sinister Six arc and all that sort of thing. I thought they did quite well when I watched them. I thought, yeah, not too bad. Way too soon though, considering you had the trilogy before.
Yeah.
yeah.
This film doesn't need that. It just doesn't. I genuinely think they could have probably made a short TV series out of it and it would have been better for all the stuff they tried to achieve. 3 episodes, no more. That's it.
Maybe when special effects are a little more inexpensive or
No, that's the
easier
whole
to
point.
do.
They didn't need to do that. I mean, if they had the thing running around in the prosthetic suit, it would have been better than what I watched.
Oh, right.
It was. I cannot emphasize how bad it was. I'm getting shades of Mario Brothers, the movie.
Oh, really?
This is the Mario Brothers for the gaming genre.
Oh,
You know, forget Tomb Raider being the sucky game films and, you know, Resident Evil. They're fun, at least, in some weird way. This is not fun at all. There's no redeeming features to it at all.
well, thanks for that frontline report there.
It's alright. Part of my soul is permanently
very
dead
grateful.
because of watching that.
Took one for the
It will
team.
never come back.
Yeah,
If in years to come I come back as Victor Von Doom, you know where it started.
yeah. And I just wanted to end the movie news with this because John will love this. The Ben Affleck Batman apparently is going down so well at the studio that we previously mentioned that they were going to do a film with him writing and directing and starring, and that may be a new trilogy now.
Yeah, I hear it's going to be about Batman's petticoat years, where he's just basically like, Catwoman is going to be his dominatrix, and she's going to sissify him over a period of years with Ben
Sissify
Affleck.
him?
Yeah.
Jesus. Right, okay.
So Ben Affleck's going to be wearing a pink bat suit and, you know, licking her feet and all that sort of stuff throughout the entire film.
Oh, okay.
That sounds
Wow.
pretty cool. Can't wait for that. Sounds all right.
Well, you know, it remains to be seen, doesn't it, I suppose, whether it'll be any good or not. But,
No.
yeah, apparently it's a golden deal that they've said he's struck. And, yeah,
Well,
he's
they've got a new benchmark for bad, so let's see.
Yeah, maybe I'll watch
It can't
that
be-
Fantastic Four film first before I watch the new Batman film. Perhaps it will soften the blow.
palate cleanser.
God.
Oh, well. I thought that was quite mild, actually. A mild response from John there. He's seething inside, but cool. This has been the Not Watching podcast in partnership with notlistening.co.uk, where you can also hear myself and Ian talk about video games and virtual reality on the Not Playing podcast. And you can also hear Adam, Ash and Will talk about all manner of funny things on the Not Listening podcast too. please email us your thoughts on the show at notwatchingpodcast@gmail.com, or you can tweet or follow us on Twitter at notwatchingpod. You can also find the show notes for this show at notlistening.co.uk. If you're listening to us on iTunes, please do give us a review. And that's all for now. Thanks for listening. See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I've watched a couple of nasties on Amazon, but I don't know how much time to give them, sort of thing.
What, movies?
Yeah,
or?
movies. Yeah, so do that later.
Yeah. If we're gonna.
Which ones, John?
I watched Piggy, which was pretty nasty, and what was the other?
I think
film?
I've seen the trailer for that.
Huh?
I think I've seen the trailer for that.
Yeah, it's pretty grim.
What inspired you to watch Piggy, John?
Is it a recent satirical piece?
It came up as recommended to me on my Amazon.
You like David Cameron.
Yeah.
You like Oxford.
You
I
like
can't
it in the
remember
mouth,
what the other one's
Piggy.
called now, so that's no good.
Okay.
What's Piggy about then?
Piggy is about a man who his brother is basically they go into a pub and they have a bit of a row with some twat who's just giving it the big un sort of thing, and so the guy's brother mouths off back, and then when he leaves, they catch up with him later on and stab him to death in the street. It's a bit of an overreaction, really.
Yeah,
and so
just a bit.
This guy, the surviving brother, one day a bloke turns up at his door and just basically says, "Oh, I was friends with your brother. Like, can we have a chat?" And he's all charismatic and imposing, and so he lets the guy in and they have a chat. And this guy ends up basically manipulating him into taking his revenge on the guys that killed his brother. And so they get him one by one and kill him in various awful manners, like proper British horror film style.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's kind of a mixture of gangster and horror, I guess. And I won't ruin the ending, but Piggy is not all that he seems to be. But yeah, the reason why they're piggies is because they put on these pig masks to disguise their faces.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
I wondered where that came into it.
Yeah.